They say fear is a warning, a survival instinct. But some of us chase it. Some of us walk into the dark just to see what's staring back. Join us as we journey into the most terrifying haunted attractions, immersive horror experiences, and spine-chilling events this side of the veil. From pulse-pounding jump scares to mind-bending atmospheres, we rate, rank, and relive it all so you know which haunts are worth your screams. This is Scripts and Screams.
Now your hosts with the ghosts, Jessica Morgan and Chris Carter.
Oh shit, we're back. Hey,
Spooky season in March.
I wonder if we should call us, instead of hosts, these are your directors, maybe? You know what I mean?
Wow, you just like gave yourself a title change, like a title bump.
Maybe. Well, maybe.
Host, director's a high level. That's pretty senior level.
I guess you're right. Maybe I'm thinking like director.
Is there a pay raise?
Does it come with pay time off? These are valid questions. I completely agree with that. That's pretty good. Okay, so in our intro,
Welcome back, Chris.
well, thank you, the director.
Welcome everybody. We're excited. It's not October, but we still have spooky season year long.
How great is that? And we like to say in our house that spooky season is like a way of life, I think, right?
I love that.
Yeah. So
It's a mantra.
we're very fortunate to live in Los Angeles, where we get to do events like this in March, when it's the hottest fucking heat wave there's been like the past decade. But I did an event last night, and then we are doing a special event tomorrow, which we'll talk about, which Queen Mary is doing, which we love that.
Yes.
We're recording this on March 13th, Friday the 13th, appropriately
That's
so.
true. Look at
right?
that.
Yeah.
I was so jealous when I heard that you were going to go to this event, and I could not go with you.
I know, I felt bad.
It's called work people sometimes. Sometimes you work gigs and you're not allowed to get out of that gig.
Yeah, the responsibility part of it, that does. I actually felt really bad. And to give a little context on what we're talking about JFI's offering the Willows. And we've been following them since we've got to Los Angeles, and loved everything they've done. And I'm just rambling here, but just to give a context on how last night happened, they posted on their Instagram, which if you don't follow them, please follow them because they are incredible.
Yeah,
and
JFI.
JFI
Productions.
Which the Willows is kind of underneath that umbrella. That if you had responded within the first 20 minutes of this post, I think last night.
The first person to respond, I think it said.
Was it the first person?
It was like whoever responds first, basically.
I never win anything, too. That's awesome. I'm so happy.
And Chris won.
I
Big
won.
time discount.
Yeah, so generally tickets for this event are on the most expensive side that we do. It's $250 per person. So for me and Jessica to go.
Whistle. You know the whistle noise.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. Let me see if I got something for this. I don't have any. Dang, I don't have.
What does my pocketbook feel like? Do you have anything for that?
I have maybe chirps, maybe.
No. Whoa, that was chimes.
That's not
That's
it.
chimes, not chirps.
$7?
There you go.
Are you fucking serious? This isn't enough for anything. What are you, a 6-year-old?
Yeah, that's how my wallet feels now. It's basically, as you can see, Chris is back on the board, and he's a little rusty, but we're gonna give him some time. He's gonna get there.
True. We're gonna get there. And so part of last night's spontaneous adventure was that they had. I actually won, which is they gave us a huge discount, and they were very gracious in doing so. They don't have to do that. All of their shows have sold out. The only reason this was even an issue was because I think it was in honor of them doing 100 shows, either at their new location or this year.
Or this year?
I don't.
It might be total. That's a lot of shows.
Oh, they've done. I think they've done more than 100. They do 2, so they can do 2 a night, beginning on Thursday to Sunday. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8 shows a weekend, and we are in maybe it's total. Maybe
I was gonna say it's a lot because even if you do 8 weeks of that, that's just 16 shows.
That's true.
So, or is that?
That's not right.
No, that math is terrible. That's 36 shows.
Guys, don't judge us on our math, all right? We're creatives, not mathematicians. That's.
Sorry for not taking you seriously, my darling.
Yeah. But we're both. Anyway, that's where the discount came from. And so we jumped on
celebrating 100 of something. Congratulations.
Yeah, exactly, right? and what's great about that too is, and again, we'll get into the deets of it, but anytime you can run a singular show for 100 runs, I think there's just something behind that where people come out, especially in this city. Like you have to, this city's kind of it's very judgmental in that sense.
It's
where
very hip and hot. And so if you have any kind of longevity like that,
yeah,
that's a big, that's a big like brag.
Right. They could have easily been like, because this isn't, and I think what has a lot going for it is that it's not based around anything Halloween.
That is true.
Right? Like
it's just creepy.
Yeah.
It just makes you uncomfortable.
And so I think we should talk about what kind of, for the people that don't know, what JFI puts on and specifically what Willows is.
Yeah.
So Willows is described, and again, I'm taking this information off their website. It's a multi-sensory, fully immersive experience where the line between guest, character, and reality dissolves. And the biggest catch upon this is there's only 24 people in a showing. The showing lasts 2 hours, and it takes place in a mansion. And I think if you kind of jumble that up, I think that's really where we're at. And for me, the most interesting part, and again, we'll get into our specific experiences. And what's great about this too is I said that Jessica has done a version of the Willows a couple years ago
with you,
with me, at a different location. So
yeah, we went to it was a few years ago.
Yeah.
But we finally saved up the money to go to Willows. I think we'd been, that's kind of their flagship thing for JFI. It's like they've been known for it. We went to Creep for a few years. That happened in Halloween. And they almost always would talk about the Willows. They'd be like, have you done the Willows? And they're like, hey, we're going to like bring it back up again. Like it comes around every once in a while.
Yeah.
It's really worth it.
It felt seasonal at that point, right?
And it's like we had seen it, but the ticket price was pretty pricey for us.
Yeah.
And so we had to kind of decide at some point, okay, we've done enough of their events. Like, let's give the one that they're known for a shot.
Take the big bite.
Let it, pay them fee and let's go. And they do add more to it. It's like you get food, you get drinks. Like the drinks are like bottomless almost. Like they just are always like serving. And we did do it. And I had a really good time with it. And I was looking to kind of go back at some point, but again, it's always like, okay, price tag, does that work out with whatever else we're doing? And we've thought about it several times. So when this came up for Chris,
jumped on it.
Yeah. And like I said, very jealous over here, but I'm happy that he, I was like, you know what, go and go do it alone.
Yeah.
I have to say that I was like, Chris, that might be really cool to do it alone. As much as it'd be nice to go with somebody, if nobody's available and you have to do it alone, there's something about that I've always said that for most of these immersive events. It's like if you can separate from your group, and if they split you up, like do so, because there is something about just being alone that you're like, I'm not really putting on airs. I'm just having my own experience.
Right.
And so you got to do that all by your lonesome.
And it's funny. I think going back to that point, it's in any type of spooky nerve experience, people are going to go with people they feel comfortable with. There's a safety mechanism there too. And I think once you get to a certain point, when you're able to experience these things like by yourself, it changes so much for you. So this type of thing, I mean, I was actually pretty excited going by myself, so I thought that was really cool. Before we get back into it, to describe what Willows, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, the big pull for me on this is it's like we've done immersive events. This thing is 2 hours long.
Yeah.
So you have actors who are telling a story in the room with you for 2 full hours.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. That's such a feat. I know that we do like plays and stuff like that take about 2 hours, but there's a huge difference with being like doing this kind of work where there is a level of improv. You're going to have interaction with everybody.
God, yes.
And so that's exactly what it is. It's like you are just entering a place that these characters are existing in,
right,
in a point of time that have their own stories, and you just get to be a part of it. And they'll put you away at times, right? Like
it's so cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say that you don't always get the full picture. You kind of get pulled in different directions, so you'll get different point of views,
right?
And but usually they kind of do a good job of bringing you back to like the main storyline, and so at least you get the main points. And you can get to a point where you're like literally one-on-one with a character. They at least bring you where it's like 3-on-1 and things like that. Like you get very intimate moments with these characters, and they do ask for interaction. Like the whole food point, at least for me, I remember they're specifically asking me questions to answer, and then I'm like allowed to ask questions back. You know what I mean? It's a conversation that you're holding with these characters.
Yeah. So I guess the biggest thing is I kind of want to create other than what I described on the website, I kind of want to give an idea of where we're at when we talk about these things before we actually talk about what we went through. Once you go into this mansion, again, you and the 24 people, there are, I believe, 5 or maybe 7 characters that are placed in this mansion. One is a butler, one is a maid, one is the matriarch, one is the uncle. There's a brother, a cousin, a brother, a daughter, and then a spouse. So I think there's 7 or 8 people. These actors, like what you're saying, is you walk into their world after somebody just passed away. And what's great about, and
That's
I've always,
I was like, I feel like we just got to get into your experience now.
yeah, can I?
Because you're
let
just
me
like
run the-
setting up the story, but
let
I'm
me run
like,
the flag
let's
up.
just do it.
Yeah,
man.
let's do it.
I want to hear
This
it.
is my favorite thing of all time for this moment.
Stick around.
Oh, like running the flag?
Yeah, I love spoilers. I love telling stories.
He likes spoiling stories.
I don't like spoiling stories. Well, as Arnold said,
Stick around.
stick around. That's it. We are now going to go into my experience and then our experience about JFI's Willows, their most recent offering, and then the one they had a
Mostly
couple years
yours.
ago.
Okay. So
Okay.
you park, you walk up.
Yes.
What's the vibes? What's going on?
So everybody's nervous, and I should say that this place is right off of or it's right behind. It's near the Staples Center, or what was a Staples Center. So it's kind of it's a the neighborhood is so LA. Beautiful mansions, rundown apartments. Like I was nervous where I parked, and they do say you should ride share.
Classic LA, man.
Yes,
It's like
100%.
you're like, this is clearly millions of dollars in
Yeah.
one building right
Yes.
next to something that they absolutely should tear down at some
Yep,
point.
this was condemned, 100% that. But as we get in line, everybody's uncomfortable. You can feel it, and everybody's kind of dressed up too. It's night. There are no real big street lights out there, so everybody's kind of dressed
Your
in
time was
nice.
like 9:30, right?
Yes,
At
thank you.
night. That's pretty late.
Yeah, even in spring right now when we're it was there again is very sparsely lit. So everybody's in dark clothes because
Moody.
they're going out, but everybody's nervous. You can just feel it.
Yeah.
When
What are we walking into? What are we doing?
And the people that are together, they're just kind of talking with each other, but like have a nervous laugh or like you could just feel it.
Especially you being alone. Like you're not cued into your own group. You're probably like just there to hear it.
Well, 100%. And for me, it was done it.
Yeah.
And I've done, I think at this point, much more terrifying. I know what I'm getting into with this, right? I have a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Most of these people that I found out later didn't. They had no idea.
Oh, interesting. And it is true. Like JFI, they're not going to lean too much into the like scare, like jump,
Yeah.
scare kind of thing. It is more about either creepy or uncomfortable kind of like experiences.
That's what they should put on their website.
That
Creepy
is,
and
they
uncomfortable.
really should. It's like that's kind of their thing.
Yeah.
And to anything I've been in. Don't get me wrong. I have like some imagery in my head that's pretty haunting.
Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should later this haunt season talk about the immersive experience that we had with JFI and then maybe delusion and.
Anywho, you're spiraling. So let's get back to it. So they finally let you in.
Okay, so let me back up. They didn't let us in all at once. What they did was, while we're waiting in line after we've been checked in,
Who's checking you in? Just a random person?
somebody officially is checking us in, and then one of the, I guess, the person that tells you all the rules, who also is feigning as a maid.
Oh, it's maid. Oh, okay.
Yes, but not the maid in the.
This is a separate maid.
Separate maid, yeah.
Got it.
And they're like, hey, let me take every, I don't know, you and you random people. And you could
Are
tell.
they breaking up the group?
Yes, that's what you could tell.
Yes.
So they're taking all the females away from the men.
They took the females in first?
At first, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So they did that. So and it's funny. I never saw how many guys
It is Women's
depended
Month,
on their
by
women.
the way. It's Women's Month, by the way.
Oh,
Let's be
maybe that's
real.
why.
Like,
Knock on
let's
wood. We
women
like that.
first.
Let's give a
Yes, let this man cook.
well, not
Oh,
man,
wow.
but yeah, that came
wow.
out wrong.
In Women's
so,
Month, we're going to do that.
Your pupils dilated.
No, this
no,
is
no,
also...
okay, not that one. Here,
Yes!
there we go. We'll do that one.
Fuck yeah, I'm ready.
So we are ready for Women's Month.
You need
Is it
some
Women's History
new
Month or just Women's
prompts. It's Women's History, but
All right.
we still.
We still. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay,
so the
so
men
the-
are like, what?
And it's funny because a lot of these guys got nervous real fast. Like as soon as they
They
took
were like, I'm only here because she brought me here.
yeah, and I mean, maybe are also like, hey, she was the person who's going to save me type of thing. But
I was going to push her in front of me when I got attacked.
It is funny how once you like lose your person you're with, how much more open you are talking to the people. Like I met somebody who was a cinematographer for Not Scary Farm. I met someone who worked for Universal Studios, HHN, but specifically. So and of course this didn't happen until the people they were with got taken inside.
Yeah.
All right. So guys are like, hey, what are you doing here?
I'm
So-
nervous now, so talk to me.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's what it is. A lot of nervous energy. So it didn't take long before I went. I maybe
Okay.
went in with like the fourth group.
Okay.
So they take you to the front. They take you to the beginning of this, and if you've seen the pictures, it's magnificent. It's a giant columned mansion. They make you wait there, and then this is where this maid says, just so you know, don't go into any place. This is where kind of they have to distinguish. When they say the gamers will get this open world, it's open world to a point, right? You can't
Yes.
go behind doors that are closed. You can't look behind. So
If a door is open, you can
you
go
can
in.
go through it. Yeah.
But if it's closed, let's not. We got things in store for
And
you.
that line can dissolve, so they make it very clear. Like if it's your first time going there, there have been experiences we can talk about where it's like you don't know what you can and can't do. And even I had an experience
Yeah.
like this, and this is probably my 6th go round for a JFI event.
You like want to explore,
You want, and so,
but you're also like,
can I
"Ooh,"
explore?
Yeah.
Right. So, anyway, so they were like, hey, that's great. They take us inside, and it's very formal. Please sign the guest book. At this point, you are in it. And when I mean in it, as soon as you cross the threshold of this mansion, these people that work here are all like characters in the game. They're all
Yes.
participants in the play, which you
Yes.
are now part of. You can ask them anything. I asked the butler how long he's been here, what happened to his parents at some point, and they all have, like you
What
mentioned,
happened to his parents?
well, because we find out later that his parents, again, as we peel the onion, was the lead butler for the matriarch's dad, and he died.
Oh my God! So it's like a family thing. They just
Yes.
stick with the family.
They've been together forever.
Whoa! I don't think I got a lot of experiences with
Well,
the butler.
Here's what I'll say: this
Mhm.
it was very different than the time that you and I went.
Yeah.
So that story is very much fleshed out. So we'll probably be going back and forth that together. So maybe we say when you and I went, the story was very different.
That's so interesting because it's like, I'm guessing the main bones are still there
Yes.
of the story.
Yeah.
But it is something you can play with where it's like the different characters have their own little side storylines, like
Yeah.
any kind of open world experience would be, I would
Right.
imagine. So I could see how they just like make other characters prominent or give them more story or like make it more of a point. Okay, interesting.
So it did feel like that. I will say that from my experience last time. But
okay, so you're in.
I'm in, and all of a sudden I'm scouting, and like when you say they hold you in what I would call the foyer, and they wait, and then a door opens, and then one of the main actors who's been with JFI for forever comes out, and she plays the widowed wife of the reason you're there. You're there to celebrate.
And do you find that out like immediately? Like, because that's the thing.
Within like
she's-
10 minutes.
okay,
Immediately.
yeah, because she comes in.
Hot, drunk, like
I remember that was pretty similar for me.
yeah.
That she comes in and she's drunk and she's very like, oh, good to see you. I know you, kind of a person.
100% the same.
Ality,
I actually
yeah.
got hugged. I was the first man through.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and I'm hoping that maybe in some way she recognizes me because I've been to a bunch of different events. But I swear to God, people, everybody recognizes Jessica. Like they know Jessica.
It's the red hair. It can't be denied.
We went to just a sidebar. No, we'll come back to that. But anyway, so when we come in,
Yeah.
they're like, help yourself to a drink. And then I'm like, okay, cool. So you go over to a bar. And at this point, we're kind of like in a music area. There's a piano.
Yes.
There's a red leather couch. Very, very
Okay.
old money.
Was there like items around to look at?
Yes. And so I did that
Okay.
because you had
But
said that.
You got drinks first.
I got drinks first. That's what everybody does was uncomfortable. If
I
I'm by
mean,
myself, you know?
it's true. They do that for a reason too, right? Like one, it's a pricey ticket. You deserve some booze.
Thank you.
But also, but also there is an element of like most of these experiences. I'm sort of like, if you go in one drink, like you're probably good because it just loosens you up enough.
Yeah, it takes the
right?
edge off.
You're not trying to go in drunk. You want to be able to like control yourself. You want to be able to remember things.
That's
But it's like having just the edge off, just a little bit of like, oh, I am friendlier than I usually
well, but
am.
then also it adds a level of danger to it because think about how many events that anybody's gone to where they offer you free drinks. Like within your event, like maybe one thing where like Universal where you can drink and then go into a maze,
Yeah,
or
you can
Delusion,
buy.
same thing, right? Think about if we went through one of John Braver's things and he's like, here, have as much alcohol as you want. You know what I mean? So like there's a
Yeah.
level of danger to it, and also another level of interactivity. Like this is really, you can do whatever you want, and it sets that expectation to a degree, you
Okay.
know? And so for me, and they had a bottle of Voss water, they had punch, And they said, get some punch and then top it off. And by the way, the punch was delicious. It was like tea and ginger ale and cranberry juice. It was fucking incredible. So then I'm like, I might
good
just
mixer
drink this
for
Coke.
a lot of things.
I didn't think
Think about it. Cranberry, ginger ale, like you can mix so
Yeah.
much with those alone.
That's true. It had a
So-
very cloudy orange color.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Well, so
So
then
then you mix what, bourbon with it?
yeah,
What other? Did they have any others?
something clear. So I'm guessing
probably.
vodka.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
those two, or you can mix.
And
with-
they had them in decanters. And so I didn't go first. I was the second guy to get a drink, but the first guy just poured out straight bourbon. So I'm like, maybe this guy knows something that I don't know. But now that somebody else
Maybe
has done
he
it,
knows something that I don't know.
like,
Maybe I need to get lit.
yeah, right. How is this going to go down?
Wow, so you could pour your own,
100% and as much as you want.
bro.
I
that
know,
is
dangerous. I
dangerous.
know.
Okay.
Everybody was pretty respectful, and they also said you cannot go from one, let's call it a scene, to the other with alcohol. You can only have it in that room during that scene.
That's kind of smart then, at least.
Sure.
So you're not.
Fucking taking up, yeah.
And
Give me the bottle.
I'm sure as we go along, some of those scenes it would be like, dude, you can't have something in your hand.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. Okay.
Yeah. So we're
So
in
you-
there.
Yeah, you made a bourbon. You still are there with the lady.
Yes. And it's a little uncomfortable because now nobody knows who anybody else is. I will say that most people came with someone, but they separated them. So you're brought in tranches, right?
Wait, so even in this room now, you're not like met up with all the people who already
No.
came through? Oh, so you're still in your little group they assigned you.
It might have been like times two. We may have caught up with the group in front of us or behind us, but the
that's
other,
it?
yeah. So there was probably maybe a third of us that were in this group.
Oh,
the
that's interesting. I wonder where they go.
So the
Well, I
group,
guess you find out.
well, the people in front of us, I think were in the dining room looking around. They actually pulled one guy away to help. He actually served food.
Oh, hilarious.
They gave him an apron. The maid who was part of the experience.
Amazing.
Yeah, they gave him an apron. He cut cheese. They had him-
Amazing.
yeah, so we had like the whole 9 yards.
I
He
remember
was-
seeing people when I went in the kitchen helping do cutting of
Really?
things, of some of the stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, then this is that.
So I don't know if she just like grabs people to be like, "Hey, help me" or something, but
Yeah.
or asks for help. But that's great.
Yeah. No, I think that was one of those moments where it made me happy because I'm like, somebody's going to get pulled aside because we're so used to anytime in one of these experiences, you get pulled aside, you have an experience that nobody else has. It's singular to you, which again, gamer term, which makes the replayability factor so high.
Yeah.
So high.
Totally.
So anyway, we're in this room. We're kind of hobnobbing, but a little bit nervous. So I go to the bathroom, like everybody does at a party when they first get there. Let me go to the bathroom.
Is that what people do?
Yeah, that's what I did. That was my move. I'd get a drink and go to the bathroom. I'd just give me a chance to look around.
With their drink?
I always put it on top of the toilet stall.
Ew.
Any fucking way.
Not hygienic.
It's not, but it's okay. We're at a party. We're drinking. It's fine. Done way worse at parties.
The alcohol will kill any
Yeah,
bacteria.
that's right. And the two people I was in line with, they had also done the Willows that we did, the one from years ago,
No way.
and then one of them did the Ghost experience
Love.
from was it last year or 2 years ago? I forget which one.
I think 2 years.
2 years. So
yeah,
that
they did Willows last year again.
shit. Oh, they did, huh?
Mhm.
Shout
So
out
it was
Lizzie
just-
Morgan,
Yeah.
who came with us too, Jessica's sister. So they had done that one, which is so they kind of
Same house.
knew same house exactly.
Copy.
And it's funny. One of the women that I was talking to, she said that I thought it'd be funny. She's talking about the Ghost experience. She's like, I thought it'd be funny and silly because of the TV show. And I'm like, no. Once you got into this house, she's like, terrifying. I'm like, yeah, all the fun stayed across the street. So, but that was cool. I thought
Yeah.
that was cool. It made me smile. So again, we're just hobnobbing. More people are starting to fill in. On the main table, I start going to the guest book. Like, let me see what I can see. Somebody said in here, "Glad you're dead."
Whoa.
Yeah, so maybe I should say the reason that this party, air quotes, is happening is because Jonathan, everybody's friend who's invited to this party, has died via suicide.
Did you find? I know we had been to this before.
Yeah.
Did you find this out at any point during this experience this time? Like, when was that revealed to you? Do you remember?
That he killed himself?
No, that you were there for a funeral.
Oh, immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, within like when we're getting the drinks and the sister, I will get her name.
See,
here.
and I was gonna say, is there any other characters? You only mentioned the wife so far, the widow.
She was the only, other than the butler and the maid,
Yeah.
the wife, the widow is the only other one that I think we had met so far that I can recall.
Okay.
I'm almost sure. I'm almost
So
sure.
who
of it.
revealed that it was a funeral?
The wife.
Okay, got
Thank
it.
you for coming. Jonathan was great. But it's funny, she speaks like she's like a 1940s housewife who's been beaten by her alcoholic husband. You know, she speaks like, oh, he's so good. And I'm so glad you guys are here, but he was really an asshole. You know what I mean? She's been drinking,
Yes.
so that does lay her out.
Yes.
And I think what's great about this experience is as you push her, the more information you'll get, which you do. I mean, you love to do this shit. And
I love to
it's,
ask the questions.
it's the move, right? You want to.
It's like there's times that if they're talking to you about something and the opportunity is there, like don't derail them from their whole thing. But like if they start talking about like Jonathan and you know what I mean and
Yeah.
stuff, like yeah, that's an opportunity to be like, so what exactly happened with him?
Dude,
You know what I
that's-
mean? Like that's like those are the times to maybe, and you can tell right away if it's something they're gonna share or not because they'll
Yeah.
either because
Get weird.
yeah, well I've had them be kind of like, you know, or oh, I don't know, or oh, we don't talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And move on to, but they'll find a way to like steer it back to wherever they're going.
I wonder if it's meant to take place later in the story because the production is so interesting on this part of it for me where like again the gamer thing where like people will like the answer queue or like the
Yes.
answer tree is so interesting. I want to give her a shout out, Misha Reeves, who's been in a bunch of the JFI productions. Her name is Claudia. So Claudia is the widow.
Okay, cool.
And Claudia is the one who's kind of you were getting
I'm with you. I remember when I went, I wanted to have so many interactions with Claudia because of the fact that she was like this drunk widow going on.
yeah.
And literally, she was like the only one I think probably had the least amount of
Really?
experience.
No
yeah, she was
way.
so far away almost all the time. So it was one of those, I was like, dang it. I feel like she has all the secrets.
She kind of did. I
She
got
kinda
I got
does.
some good tea from her at
Because she
dinner.
married into the family.
Yeah. And so anyway, we're
so
here
anyone else?
looking around. People are starting to filter. I didn't know no other actors that I came across where it's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, let's have this interaction. At this point, they gathered everybody. And it was weird. They said, everybody finish your drinks and come into the foyer. And so they brought everybody out. They had everybody stand shoulder to shoulder, two lines of us, the tallest in the back and the shortest in front. And then they announced the mom, the
Yeah.
matriarch. And so they wheeled her out. At this point, they did bring in her brother, who's played by Mason Conrad, who again we love.
Yeah, Jonathan's brother. I
Yeah,
think,
Mason
right?
Conrad, who
Unless
plays
he's the
Conrad.
cousin or something. I can't remember.
No, I definitely no. It's.
There's like
Oh,
two-
he is is he the cousin? I think he's the. I don't know.
Yeah, there's like a sibling
point.
because I thought this girl was the sibling, but maybe I'm wrong. It's that's just what it's. I think it is. I think the girl's the sibling. At least when I went, the girl was the sibling of Jonathan, and then he's the cousin because the uncle is his dad. I thought
You're fucking so right. That's what
Yeah.
it was.
exactly, and so I'm like, there's so yeah. Anyways, he's the cousin.
You're so right, the cousin. And then they bring out the daughter, who's played by Daisha Kittredge, Angela. So
Yes.
Conrad, the cousin, Angela, the daughter, Claudia, the widow.
Yes.
Okay. And then we'll just call the uncle, it's Uncle Ricky.
Got
Uncle
it.
Ricky. And then the matriarch, right? The reason we're here, man, and she was Melinda, Rosemary, played by Melinda Decay. So everybody's lined up. The cousin and the sister are on these steps. The widow is drunkenly falling over, and then the mother's wheeled out. And it's just such a, you feel like a fly on the wall, and which is you're really obviously supposed to, but it gets a little uncomfortable because you sense so much is happening that you don't know yet. And just the general inquisitive nature of people, you want to talk to everybody, right? So at this point, they say, thank you for joining us for dinner. Everybody here was friends with Jonathan. So that's who you are. That's the role you
Yeah,
play.
they give you that cue that it's like
Yeah.
you all knew Jonathan.
Exactly. And so at this point, follow us into the dining room, which the dining room is much smaller than the one that we went to. It felt a lot smaller. And the foyer was much smaller too. But this is a mansion. So who am I to be like, oh, your house is so small? But
But you're trying to fit. You said it was 24 people.
24 people.
24 people plus the cast of 8-ish that we were saying.
Yeah.
Like in one room. So you got like freaking 30 people in a room. Of course, it's like, even if you have a normal sized dining room, you're like 30 people in a normal sized dining room.
That's true.
It needs to be a pretty
Yeah.
big room. And especially then you put tables in there. For us, when I went, we had like the tables, they were all kind of the long rectangle ones and they connected them all so that it was in like a weird configuration, I think I remember. But at least it was like, oh, we're all at the same sort of table.
Yeah.
But for you, how was it?
It was circular. It was like
Oh,
it was like a
individual?
backyard barbecue.
Hey,
Right? There was one long table in the
You know
middle.
what? That's most. If you've ever been to a funeral, for me, like
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, pop up the circular tables. You know, so there was like a design to this, right? You could sit wherever you want to sit, but you cannot sit in front of somebody where there's a name tag. And so there might have been 5 tables, and every character that was in the show had a spot at one of the tables.
the name tag.
Yeah. So
it.
that was them, like them being the production, trying to move the story this way at dinner.
Okay.
And so at my table was Angela.
Okay, got it.
And Angela had given somebody at my table a doll to hold. Very much
Oh,
like
I do remember the doll.
you do.
Yeah, she had a doll.
So then same thing here. She gave someone the doll. It's like her child or something like that. Oh, it was her child because her name was Angela and the doll's name was Angelina.
Cute.
Yeah. And I only know that because I asked her. Haha. But so this is where kind of the at this point, some people had already had individual experiences with one of the guys, again, helping with the chef or the maid. And then this other guy at my table receiving Angelina, how he got her. I guess
Yeah.
she took him do you know?
That's a
Story?
good point because it's like, no, I'm just saying, I actually don't know how
Okay.
she gives out the doll, but it is a good point that it's like whoever got brought in, maybe even early, probably had more of those opportunities to get pulled,
Yeah,
right?
they were actually in the first group that I think about it.
Because when we went together, I did get pulled before we had the dinner. And it was by Angela. I didn't get a doll, but she did pull me in to go spy on her cousin who was in the shower at the time. And the whole idea was that because she was being like, we're supposed to be getting ready for like the presentation or whatever. There was like a moment that they were calling of that moment that you're talking about where they're on the steps.
Yeah.
There was like a moment that whole thing, they were like, you have to get ready and stuff. And so that's why he was in the shower doing that, getting ready. You know what I mean?
I see.
And stuff. But she just ended up kind of showing me some pictures. And I think she gave me something. I feel like it was a button, but maybe that could have also been the maid. So get them a little mixed up. But did have a talk at least.
Oh, that's cool. You had that experience though.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
little
it's
side thing.
different. Yeah. So at this point we're at the table and this is kind of where the chaos happened. Like the family members would just like yell at each other, like for no reason. And they'd reference, like there's like a level of just like chaotic energy in this room. And of course the people at the tables, a lot of them, all of us didn't know what to expect at this point because,
Yeah.
you know, who's going to drive this story? How are we going to get this information? And so when Angela was here, that's when we kind of started to peel the onion and when, you know, how did Jonathan die? How, you know,
Did she give you any answers?
so she didn't, but we got answers
Do you remember
later.
anything she said?
It wasn't of note for me,
Got
other
it.
than the Angelina part of it.
The doll.
Yeah, the doll part of it. That was,
Cute.
yeah. And so at this point,
Who else do you get? Did anyone else come around?
we did, but we were at dinner for like 40 minutes.
Whoa. What did
Yeah.
you get served?
So,
Let's
okay.
talk about the food.
So the food, that's a great point.
Did you get wine?
We did get wine, red or white.
Red or white?
They brought it around, the butler. So they did this for everybody. So there was a lot of time that was kind of, I don't want to say wasted, but definitely time it took to be served this. And it was dead silent. Like nobody knew what to say. Nobody knew to talk to each other. Nobody knew to talk to the characters. Like, anyway. So we got served the wine. We got served hors d'oeuvres. There was bread, Mama's Hawaiian rolls, our kings. I know, I'm so excited about that shit. There was red grapes, black grapes, cheese, yellow and white, and
Are black
sliced.
grapes like purple grapes?
But they're they're like smaller.
Oh.
There were purple grapes, which are giant, the ones we had, but these are the black ones, and both. So
Blueberries.
Imagine like the size of blueberries, yes, but they weren't blueberries. Dude, the worst thing about it, and everybody knows we know how much I love grapes. These were underneath like a candelabra in wax before I could dripped all over the grapes.
So you couldn't even eat the grapes?
Nobody could eat anything except the bread. I'm so bad. I was so sad. I'm like, I would eat all this cheese, all these grapes. People would be like, this guy's he's a fat ass. Like this man loves to eat, which is true.
What?
Yeah. So nobody touched them because there was wax all over the grapes. And then eventually a big chunk of wax fell on the cheese.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, I was pretty upset. Believe me. So all we
I was
had
gonna
was
say, yeah, bread
Yeah.
and cheese
Yeah.
and
We did get
grapes.
soup.
I feel like are like your jam.
It was my jam. We did get some soup, and they said it was oil with like chowder. It was actually delicious. It was better than
Nice.
last time. It was pretty good.
Did you get a salad?
No salad.
Just soup.
Just soup. But so like that, it was pretty interactive in that sense. Like the food would have been pretty damn good if we would have got the, that stuff. But
Well, you got wax on it.
I know, waxy grapes. No. So we get to this point now as the people are eating, people start to move around. We get a really great interaction with Claudia. She comes over and we find out that I think I might ask her, are you happily married? Or you said something to the effect. And she said, no, Jonathan was gay. And nobody knew that. And his mother, I'm sure people knew it, but our table very clearly said no. She implied that he was gay.
Wow.
And so as this goes on, the mother gets up, has a great story about going hunting with her dad and shooting a wolf. And this went on for a long time. Like really, I thought we spent too much time at dinner. Like because in my mind, the last time we did this, we went outside. I ended up in the basement. We ended up in a study. Like a lot happened.
Yeah.
And I felt like we're wasting so much time that we could move on from here at dinner. So anyway, that to me was exciting. Also, and I mentioned this to you last night, where the maid, I can't tell if it was staged or not, accidentally spilled wine on Angela, who was at our table, but also somebody who came to the event, like a patron.
Dang.
Yeah, so they got like a splash of wine on them and they took her away to clean her off, but maybe she had an interaction too.
That could have been it. Yeah, I was going to say, because there was a whole thing when we went that Angela and the maid were like at odds with each other.
Oh, I didn't know that. How did you saw that?
Yeah, that was like one of my interactions I had.
What?
Yeah, I think it might have been that first one, even when Angela pulled me away. Like I said, the reason like the maid gave me a button, I think it's like literally because of her kind of talking about that it's like she would set her up to get in trouble and things like that.
Oh, I see.
But what it's revealed during our thing, I don't know if it's revealed in yours later of why they are kind of at odds with each other. But
no, tell me why.Maybe I missed that.
Well, we'll see how your story unfolds.
Well, I can tell you right now that did not get that far. Like we did not get that far.
Well, at some point it was a big storyline point for ours where it's like everybody ends up in the same room again, and the maid ends up calling the main mom, like calls her mom, like she literally like messes something up and then says, "I'm so sorry, mom," or something like that, and then it's like real tense, and I think the lady slaps her or something like that. Like it's like this whole, so it's like implied that is she possibly like her mother, and was that illegitimate or what? I don't know. You know what I mean? There's like something weird there that I don't think we ever get confirmed really, but at the same time, it's like, why else would the maid have called her mom? And the mom got so mad about it that she slaps her.
I think that might have happened in ours.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I was waiting. I didn't want to give the spoiler
well,
now.
But it wasn't clear enough when it happened because okay, I'll come back to that. I'm going to earmark that.
We are, tabling it.
Yeah.
To the side.
So as, all these things are going on at dinner, dinner's kind of tailing off. Mason is like, hey, you guys want to go check out my room? So we do. All right. So this is like, all right,
you
cool.
get pulled?
I got pulled. Well, my whole table got pulled.
Well, how many was at your table?
4.
Okay, that's not that bad.
It's not that bad. All right. And we did get out of there, and he's, he has this chaotic energy. And we go upstairs, which is cool because we did the ghost experience, and there were some similarities there in the hallway. And he's running around, and he actually got me with a jump scare, and it wasn't even directed towards me. It was like 2 people down, but he jumped out of the door because the steeps we go up the stairs the stairs are very steep.
Yeah,
very steep.
You have to go single file and everything. Yeah. So you end up hiding it.
Yeah, he jumped out of a fucking room and scared the shit out of us. So we go into his room, and in his room. You had seen this last time.
No, it was Dustin.
Oh, Dustin saw it last time.
Yeah, I saw it in a promo video and asked Dustin later if that's what he saw. And he said, yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So the room has a bunch of like drawings and paintings on the wall. And they're like,
tons.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're covered. Like, I think A Beautiful Mind, for those people that know when Russell Crowe's in the shed and just the entire walls lined with papers. The same thing here where it's like angry faces, sad faces, creature faces, like weird stuff. Like this person is unhinged. And in the corner, when you first walk in the corner, there's like an idol. It's like a person that's, I don't know, maybe 6 feet tall.
Whoa.
But it's got like made of sticks.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't even know what to call it.
That's creepy.
Yeah, it's like, do you remember the Phantasmagorica thing we did?
Mm-hmm.
It was that, but like fucking a full person. So he's like, everybody sit down. So 3 people sat on the couch and I sat on his bed because there was no more space.
Yeah.
And he comes around and he shows people, because he's wearing a bag at some point. They tell him, take that bag off your face. Show your face. You're not trying to, hide who you are. And then he's like, well, we're all hiding who we are at some point, which is implying you find out later about Jonathan, right? So we're at that moment now. So he's like, everybody, let me give you a bag. Let's have fun. Let's draw our last memory of Jonathan or what he looked like.
Oh.
So I just do it a really happy face. Somebody do a sad face. Somebody do like a really aggressive, scary looking face. It was interesting. So he picked one of them and he's like, I think this looks most like Jonathan and this looks most like me. So he says, I'm going to put Jonathan's face on. And then he gave it to somebody else. And he says, you put my face on.
Okay.
So these 2 people are having this moment. And then Mason tells this person, he's like, I want to tell you something.
Oh.
All right. So at this point, Mason's being Jonathan.
Yeah.
And he tells her that he's going to go into the bathtub, which is like next door to where we're at.
Yes.
And tie himself to the bottom of like the, I guess, stop drain. So he will drown himself there. And he wants to drown himself because I think nobody understands him, because like all of these very deeply personal things. And I can see this be upsetting if like if you didn't remove yourself from what you're saying. Like this is like traumatic inducing shit for real.
Yeah.
So we get that information. And of course, at the very end, there's this weird moment where he leaves the bag on. And like there's this weird just moment of silence between these 2 people, and they're wearing the bags, and we're like, fuck, is this guy gonna lose it? You know what I mean? So
again, uncomfortable, right? That's what they do.
Great point. And then the door opens and no one's there, and he rips
the door opens, and no one's there.
So he's like, guys, did you hear that? He's like, I thought I heard something next door, but it's all fine, it's fine. So we get up, we leave, and as we leave, we go back. I think we go back downstairs, and at that point I hear something drop and break. And so we're back in like the lobby or the foyer.
Oh yeah, this is where it's supposed to happen.
What happens?
The thing with the maid.
Then it is. Okay, cool. Okay. So I walk in, she drops something. The maid is scrambling to pick something up. The mother's angry because it happened in front of the mother. And as the maid is picking something up, I'm fairly certain she says, sorry, mom. And it was so fast. I'm like, did I hear that? Did she just blow her line? Like, what the fuck just happened? And then you're right. And then the mother just kind of dressed her down. She made her like get on all 4s or something like that. And then she rips her wig off. She's wearing a wig. So the maid actually is like got a shaved head.
Whoa.
Yeah. And she makes her lay on the floor.
So she punishes her.
Yeah. And then she gives her like a cookie, as she has one of the people give the mother gets a cookie from one of the people. The mother gives a cookie to the maid. It's very like, it felt very Succession for the people that have seen Succession in like the pig episode. It's like, it felt very uncomfortable. Like these people have too much fucking power.
That's the point, right? They're putting on something that's like, you were in the room and you're like, I shouldn't be here and I shouldn't have to witness this. And like, what do you do? Yeah. And you feel like you can't do anything. It's great. But they literally like, that's part of their show, right? Is to be like, let's put you on edge so that you were like, wow, this is not, you know what I mean?
Well, you keep saying it, uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like that's,
100%.
This is that moment. So the maid scurries off, and then we get a long monologue with the mother, and she talks about how much she loved her. This actually touched me, because my mom has said no. I mean, everybody said this, right? No parent wants to bury their child. Yeah. And this actress kind of goes on for a while about how it was terrible and how she. Are you with everybody still? I'm sorry. I think they split up, right? We 100% did. There was maybe like a third of us in this room. It was my original couple people, and then there's some other people. And I'm fairly certain. Melinda Decay. I hope I'm saying that right. Playing Rosemary. She killed it because she talks about how no parent should want to have to bear their child, and then talks about how much she misses him, and then picks one of the guys out. Not me, unfortunately, because I would have cried with her. she picked somebody else sitting next to her, and she was kind of saying, "Hey, Jonathan, I miss you. Why did you leave?" Yeah, it's like, I was so proud of you.
Oh my God.
It was terrible. And so, but you kind of get this knowing that Jonathan hid who he really was from his mother. And if his mother either accepted who he really was, because I think all parents know who their kids are, maybe they.
So that's the thing. Was she okay with it? Or did she?
I wonder.
Yeah.
I wonder so hard. So this went on for a while. And then she kind of comes out of it. She thinks that we're like intruders, hardcore like delusion, dementia, Alzheimer things. So she calls to the butler, "Get these people out of here. Who the fuck are these people?" type of thing. It was very. Then he comes back into it. "I'm so glad you're here to celebrate Jonathan's life and all this stuff." And
oh wow.
yeah. So she went.
Fun.
It was really cool. At this point, our night was kind of wrapping up, and I knew I could feel it getting late. I could feel it, like, we've been here for a while now, and I looked at my watch, and it was like 20 minutes before 11:30, and we know it goes from 9:30 to 11:30. We know we got a 2-hour window. So at this point, this show is either really going to kick off, or I'm going to be a little, I don't want to say disappointed, but it didn't happen the way it happened for me last time. And last time I had a huge experience. Again, I went outside. I was in a study. We saw some guy who was being tortured in a chair. Like, a lot happened to me last time.
Yeah.
And this time I had an interaction with the mother and an interaction with Conrad upstairs.
I have a question.
Yeah.
When you were in the dining room, and because you felt like it was going on a long time, were there other tables that were being taken? Like
No.
Did the split up happen earlier for anyone?
No. I think we were the first table taken.
Wow.
Yeah. I did hear.
So yeah, that would be part of it, right? It's like, because I'm kind of with you. I'm trying to think back and be like, yeah, there was time for other experiences and stuff.
I did
before
hear
we got to that.
A shit ton of other things going on when the mother was telling a story. Like, people
were in different areas.
Dude, people were screaming. People were running. There were thumps upstairs. Like, I felt bad that I was stuck here.
Yeah.
And so I find out, I'm trying to get information. What the fuck happened, right? Who had what? And this is the downside of going by yourself. Had we gone,
oh, I know, you would have had at least one other story, hopefully.
Right, fill the story in for me on your side, right? So
let's not sit together and let's go.
Yeah. So after this, we get filtered out to like the lobby, and in this lobby, and again, I'm almost sure this is how it goes. In the lobby, the dad now has a gun, or the uncle has a gun, and he's waving it around, and there's another group in here already. And he tells someone to read this, and he gives them a letter, and it's one of the people that came, right? One of the patrons, and it's Jonathan's suicide letter.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude, and he goes up there and says, "Read it," and and there's other stuff. Not everybody's here yet, so people were still upstairs, kind of running around screaming and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So one person reads it, he doesn't like it. Read it again. She reads it again. Still doesn't like it. Like, get out of here. They pull somebody else in from the crowd to read it again.
Yeah.
Still don't like it. Get somebody else up there. Read it again. On the third time, this guy nailed it.
Yeah.
And the dad's like, "Great, that's good." At this point, everybody kind of came down the stairs, and we all kind of gathered in the lobby. Lights went down, and they said, "All right, everybody dance with someone. Pick someone and dance with them next to you. Whoever. Guy, girl, guy, girl, whatever. Just pick someone." So again, uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of, don't.
Especially for you, because it's like, there is the moment of like, if you had been there with someone else, maybe you could go to the person.
Like, I'm fucking magnet.
Yeah, you'd be like, I am going to go to the person I know.
Yes.
Which is probably, anyways, go ahead.
Dude, it was like a traumatic event where I'm like, if I was at a party and I went by myself and everybody's dancing and by myself, you know what I mean? Like, this brought me back to like fucking middle school.
You're like, I'm the last one picked. Like, who's gonna?
Are you right? But I wasn't. Yeah, we did okay. So anyway, I'm asking this girl, and at this point, you're dancing and you're slow dancing. Right? It's a slower song. It's like a waltz, right? And I'm asking her, like, how's your night been? Because everybody wants information. Right? Everybody knows there's parts of the story they fucking missed. And she told me that she actually went upstairs. She got in the tub that Jonathan
he killed himself in?
Do you know this?
No, it sets itself up. It writes itself.
Okay. So she was in there, and I guess I forget why she got scared. I think somebody came after her or she saw something, but she had to get in the tub where he killed himself. Wow. That's what she told me. And then she had to hide. And I'm like, this sounds fucking incredible.
Yeah.
And so I imagine this is a one-person game. Like this is her experience. This wasn't a group of 4 people.
Right.
This is hers.
Yeah.
So she probably had a great time.
Yeah.
Right. Then she came downstairs, saw this, and that was like what happened to her when me and Mama were stuck together, and she was telling me the story. So at that point, we hear that, and I tell her what happened to me, and I went through line by line because I'm trying to kill time, right? Like we're gonna talk until our dance is done. Once the dance is done, we're gonna get into the finale. We're moving on, right? Stop the music. Pick somebody else and dance again. Not the person you were dancing with. Find somebody else, dance again.
See, that's how they get to be like, you're not with, if you had somebody you came with.
Oh, maybe that's why they did that.
Probably. If you had someone you came with and you kind of cheated and ended up dancing with them, guess what? Now you have to go find a stranger.
Maybe that's why.
But they could have done it shorter.
But they didn't. They could have, but there was a full song.
Yeah.
And then it's funny enough, I didn't have anybody again, neither did this chick. So we came back to each other. And then the cousin, Conrad's like, let me dance with you. She's like, no, I'm going to dance with him. But so then the 3 of us danced.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, so you had Conrad as part of it?
Yeah. At one point there was like a triangle of us dancing.
Amazing. Did he do anything for you guys?
He was saying, I think he said, whatever you do, don't look at something. It was hard to hear because it was actually really fucking loud in there. Like I'm talking, like when I was talking to this person, like you were close to these people because you cannot hear. It's so loud.
They were playing it loud for a reason kind of thing, probably.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
So he's saying don't look at something.
Don't look at something. Whatever you do, don't look at it. And then he kind of looks at both of us at the same time. It's very we're fucking eyeball to eyeball. Like if I blink, I'm tickling this fucking eyeball, right? So again, uncomfortable. Nails it, right? So this goes on for a little bit.
And also cryptic. We love it.
And so as we're dancing, they start handing out blindfolds.
Okay.
All right. And this is what they did for us last time too.
Yes.
So they hand out blindfolds, and as soon as you get them, they tell you to put them on. And you put the blindfolds on, and then as stuff happens around you, like everybody's can't see, and you just stand still, right? The music drops, everybody stands still.
Yeah.
And then the whispering happens. Right? So everybody's chanting. And you never know where it's coming from. Different voices. It's passing you. It's behind you. It's in front of you. Something's like touching your shoulder. Like it's like being in the middle of a spiritual like event.
Yeah.
All right. Very, very Indiana Jones. Don't look at it. So
did you want to peek?
I did and I didn't because I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I want to be surprised. I'm in for being scared. So I didn't peek, and you, just like us, they move you very gently. Someone puts you on the shoulders, and they move you just a little bit. And when they tell you to, and this goes on for a while, it feels like, when they tell you to take your blindfolds off, you're back in the dining room. All the tables are gone, minus one square table in the middle, and red lights are on there. And now the family members are wearing.
Are you in a circle?
Yes.
Copy.
Circle is square. The edges of the room.
Gotcha.
And so the mother's at the head table, not wearing a mask, not in her wheelchair, not with her cane. This chick is lying the whole time.
Whoa.
And so every other member of the family is wearing a wolf mask, and the room is bathed in red, and they're jumping around, very witch-like, very like ceremonial. And they're going to people in the crowd, and they start to pull you towards the table, and they, no, not you. And they'll find somebody else, like, oh yeah, this is perfect. What do you think? No, not you. And this goes on for a fucking while.
Are they presenting to the mom?
I don't think.
Or more of like a, like.
I think it was like an inspection. It was less of a presentation to the mother because they were pulling people from everywhere.
Got it.
I never got pulled, which I find wildly offensive, but whatever.
So rude.
I would be a great Jonathan. Spoiler alert. I knew it. So one of the guys gets picked, and I think it was the guy that actually read the suicide letter best. Maybe that's why they do that. I don't know. Okay, good. Tell me what.
Well, I was gonna say when we were there, and we got to this point, it felt like I remember because I'm pretty observant throughout this whole thing about like who people get picked and things like that.
Yeah.
And when they start pulling people to possibly be the thing, they pull the people that they have kind of done these tests sort of with.
You mean they had like the individual encounters?
Not just individual encounters, but there were other moments throughout the story that there was weird things that you were like, and that's the thing in the end, once you know the full story, you're like, I think that was a test. That was like their weird kind of test. Like, read the suicide note, right? Do you sound like Jonathan? You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Kind of the thing of like, oh, draw the face of what you think Jonathan was. Like, who's the most in tune? There would be moments where people would do something and the family would react, or one of the family members would, and they would be like, wow, that's so much like Jonathan. Like, they would say like things like that. At least when we were there. Yeah, there was moments, because even for me, I had a moment with the maid, and I think it was simply the like pouring of the wine, like the red or the white. And whatever I asked for, she was like, oh, of course you would. That was also Jonathan's favorite. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she had, so there was like these weird moments that was like, so it's like almost everybody is kind of looking for these Jonathan aspects, supposedly.
Interesting.
In my opinion.
I wonder.
And I think you're right. So I think the reading of the suicide note is like that guy's like test. And so it's possible that, yeah, because we had one succeed, that they're like, oh, yeah, he's a potential Jonathan.
You're the best, John. Okay.
And he might end up being the best depending on whatever, you know.
Well, so.
And he was, apparently.
He was. So they pull him and they said, that's you. And so everybody goes wild. Whoa. Everybody in the family, right?
Yeah.
They have him sit at the table. And the butler comes in and says, everybody out. Get your shit and get out. And I mean, they're talking like, everybody out, get out, get out. So everybody who wasn't the air quotes to Jonathan start to leave. They pass through the foyer and through the front door. And this is you mentioned this last time. I did not see this until this time. In this house, you cannot miss the staircase coming down to the foyer when you leave the front door from where we're at.
Yeah.
And on the staircase, there was a person it was a male in darkness, in the shadows, like backlit, which you have not seen the entire time. Yeah. You hadn't seen him.
Yeah.
And throughout tonight or that night, people would be like, I saw Jonathan. I saw him. I heard him. Like, he's here. I know he is. He's not, because he's dead and buried and all that stuff. Or so that's the legend. Oh, damn it. I missed something. I forgot. Fuck.
That's all right.
Okay, I'm going to come back to it. So as I walk out, I see this guy. I'm like, who the fuck is that? So it was never implied to me that there was no way in fuck that Jonathan could actually be there until you said it.
Yeah.
So tell me your story the first time we did it, and your Jonathan story.
So like, yeah, for one of the moments so there were moments when we went that characters would say things like about that he was still around or something, or that they could see him and nobody else can say it.
The maid said that this time.
Yeah. See, so you get little hints of that. And at first you do kind of think, okay, whatever. And then there was a moment I got pulled, and I had some interesting ones too. I had one where I can't remember. I think it was the daughter again. But she, you know, her being her Angela, like playing self, how she is, and being a little like immature and stuff. She like shows me the bathroom that he killed himself in.
Oh,
you know what
shit,
I mean?
you
And
saw
she's
it.
like, and it's being very like, oh, you know, so when you said about like the person hid in the bathtub, I just had that moment of being like, oh, it makes sense that like they would have more interactions with this room where he had killed himself. Because it's like with her and stuff wanting to go look at it, and she's not really allowed and things like that. Whatever. There was some sort of story there. And so we went and looked in there, and I think this is the moment it happened where it's like I saw something move to like the side that wasn't in the bathroom. Like we were peeking into the bathroom, and then it was like there was something in the room next to it that moved, like a figure. And at first I thought, oh, okay. Of course, they have like people behind the scenes who are doing stuff.
Like production, right?
Production, yeah. And so for me, I was like, this is a moment of like probably a crew member, a behind the scenes production person accidentally, like I accidentally spotted somebody. So I'm very much ignoring it. Like I saw somebody move and I did look, but because it was in shadow and it was pretty quick, I was like, oh, whatever. And so then we kind of move on from it. And as I'm leaving though, as we're leaving, I feel like something's behind me. And it got to that point where it's like we're being let out, and I turned around and there is definitely a shadow figure. And I had to be like, like I had to tell the character like there's somebody there, and they were like, and she was like, what? And I was like, there's somebody there, and she's like, where? And I was like, there was someone right behind us.
Well, you saw someone.
So I saw someone in shadow.
And then they were gone.
And they were like I said, at first I thought it was production until as we're like leaving this area, they were kind of following us.
What?
And it was to the point where I was like, no, clearly they're no longer hiding. Like this is something.
Oh,
and so then I said it, and then that's when Angela was like, you can see him too. You know what I mean? Yeah. And she wasn't. She was like, and for what, I don't know how we clarified, but we clarified that it was Jonathan basically.
So you knew all along that he was there.
I was like, what the fuck? And then later I did see him too, where it was another moment I was further away and he showed up in like another doorway up on top of like the stairs and things like that. And that was like another moment where I think the character might have been saying something about him being there. And I was like, I was like pointing.
He's fucking here.
Yeah. So there was like this weird shadow. And like, I think he's in a bodysuit. I think he's in a full black bodysuit, at least for me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Where
so
they-
like he was a shadow. Like they wanted
Like
you
a
to believe-
shadow,
Okay.
yes. Because it's just like there was never any other feature I ever saw. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. So for me, when we get to the end of when we went, it was similar where I think they all end up on the staircase for us when they left with the new Jonathan, like with them, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then he was way up at the top of the staircase, like
So,
looking down at all
I
of
wonder
them.
if he was implied to be a ghost or like is he actually still here?
I mean, it's a great question. I interpret it as it's the shadow that looms over all of them.
And there is that. They make a constant notice saying that the house is like a presence. It's an entity. It's
Yes.
evil itself.
Yes, it's like this. To me, that's kind of what it was. It's like it's what grief is. It's like this shadow figure that's like no longer there, but he feels like he's still there
Oh,
at
what a great read.
times.
What an intellectual read on that.
And again, maybe I'm really reading into it, so who knows? But it's just the idea of like even the fact that the first time we saw him was like we went to like his death place. You know what I mean? And we were kind of like not supposed to be there, but like let's look at it. And I think she even kind of dared me to do something, or should we go in the tub? I feel like there was
Did
a
she decide to get in the
conversation. I
tub?
feel like there was like some sort of kitty kind of, because again, she kind of plays a child.
Yeah.
So she was doing something like that, and I remember being like, "No, we don't need to do that. We can look in the. I think maybe we looked in the tub or something, you know."
Interesting.
But because of that, it just feels like it's like his presence is always kind of there,
Yeah.
and clearly lives on to the point that they are replacing him. And I feel like at one point when we went, there was even a talk about someone at some point, I think, slipped about how many Jonathans there had been, or there's something along that
What?
line. Like the last Jonathan was really good, or something like that.
I never got that.
I feel like that happened, and again, maybe that's in my memory, but I feel like
Well, I mean, it tracks because they may.
Yeah, how many
obviously
times
this is,
yeah.
yeah, right. Like,
Yeah.
may have happened before. They picked somebody else. Someone,
yes.
that's
And I think the vibe you
interesting.
get from this whole thing, I had a one-on-one interaction the first time, or not a one-on-one, but pretty close, like a small group, where the only time I got close to the Claudia, the what is it, widow or
The widow,
whatever?
Claudia,
Yeah. I think I was with the cousin guy, and we like hid under a bed at one point, and then she comes in the room and she's having an argument with I think the uncle or something like that.
So you're hiding under the bed at this point?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
There
You
was
had
a
a
bed that
great
was, like,
time last time. Holy shit!
Again, and you said you had a lot of interactions too. You went to the basement, you went outside. I didn't do any of those things. So I do think there is a possibility there might have been more to it last time than maybe
Yeah.
when you went.
Anyway,
or-
continue. So you're under the bed hiding. Tell me, I'm excited now.
And so they get into like an argument and you get to hear it and stuff until like it's, we get to overhear what's going on. But there is a lot of, it comes across as like Claudia has been forced into this family, and though she doesn't want it and didn't know what she was getting into and those kind of things. But she's in it now. And that's, you know what I mean? I think it was that kind of a talk or whatever. But I got the sense very much that I was like, this lady could end up killing herself later. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. That's true.
Right.
The way they portray it.
Yeah.
Manic.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's crazy. It's good. It's interesting to hear that you got a
So-
little more of the story.
Yeah, but here's what I want to say about that. First of all, the actors are all incredible. Like that's one thing I'll say about.
Blow you away, dude. It's
It's
crazy.
fucking crazy, and like it's so. I remember the first time we went, and when you'd have interactions or they'd speak to you, like they are looking like into your soul. Like you are whoever they think you are in this like play, experience, environment, whatever. Like you are it's just you feel so like nervous and intimidated, and it's so wild, and it really is. And so I just want to highlight the actors really quick too, because as always, it's fantastic. But when I went, Angela's played by Daisha Kittredge, and Guy Picoult played Lindsay, who's the butler. I've only mentioned a couple times.
Yeah.
Uncle Ricky was Jackson Brashear, Mason Conrad, the cousin, Melinda Takei, Rosemary, the mother, Misha Reeves, Claudia, the widow, and Janika Olin is Deidre, who I believe is the maid. Everybody was fantastic. All the actors are incredible. But as far as my experience with you and my experience last night, I feel like the one that we had a couple years ago was much better
Really?
than this one. Yeah, and I only say
Do you
that
think it's location?
I do think it's location, and I think it's part. I don't know if you can go outside here. Now we did for the ghosts thing, right? We went out.
Right.
There was like that little mini maze in the forest,
Yeah.
or the garden. I don't think that you can go outside, which really limits what they can do, because last time I went outside like twice. I was outside like in a boathouse or going from the study. We were chasing somebody, and then we went into like a basement where somebody was in a chair, like kind of tied up. So like a lot happened for me out of the house.
Yeah.
And then I know stuff happened for you upstairs, and then Dustin upstairs. I went upstairs to Conrad's room, and that's it. We just
Yeah.
had that weird interaction with the bag overhead, and then we're downstairs. So my night consisted of dinner, consisted of the interaction with Conrad in his room, the mother's monologue about her son, and then the dancing. And like, to me, it felt like, and that's 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
No, 2 hours. I'm sorry.
2
It's 2
hours.
hours. So again, I do think the immersiveness of the event is incredible. Like, you could drink whatever you want. You could
Right.
talk to whoever you want. You could say whatever you want. Like, you are in that moment. But when they prepare things for you, they have these little side quests, again, a gamer term. It felt like there was a few of them that we just didn't get this time around. And
And you think it's because you spent a lot of time in that dining room, like you said.
I do. And again, it
Yeah.
might be because, like you said, the location's a little different. The
Yeah.
house is, again, it feels smaller in terms of like where
It's not open. That's, I think, the big difference.
it's not open.
Because the other one was like, it felt open. Like
Yeah.
when you're in the like foyer area and looking up at the staircase, it's like you can almost see all of upstairs, and you
Yeah.
can see this big area over here and over here.
It's
and
very Resident Evil. Like, imagine the Resident Evil
that's
where like
totally accurate.
when we did the traders, it was huge. Like, they
Yeah.
had the roof, that big ass table, and when you're absolutely right. You're 100% right. It is much more open on the other location.
Right. Well, it's like this one, it felt like, at least for us when we went through Ghosts, it was like, yeah, there's kind of only one little route you can take. Like you kind of get squished into this room or whatever. And
Yeah.
then, but there's not a lot of other areas you could go through. Like it seems pretty linear, right?
It did, yeah.
So there is that where that could make it feel smaller just because you can't quite get the scope of what it looks like.
And to be fair, a lot of people had in like experiences and one-on-ones or in interactions, and I have no idea. Again,
So why don't you get pulled? What is that? What is it about this?
I
If
like
anyone
to
from
think,
JFI is listening, can you please let us know why Chris does not get pulled? Like, pull up a picture of this man on social media and be like, okay, let us know. Does he act crazy? When he tells me that he is asking y'all questions, is it like, oh God, this guy's obnoxious and we need to avoid him? Like,
how terrible.
I need to know. He's a nice guy, guys. He's tall, but he's not. He looks like
what?
a quarterback.
Yeah, I do.
He
And,
looks like somebody who could,
but
take somebody on, but he's not mean.
I think that part of it is maybe they and we've talked about that. We've been through almost everyone they've done, I think, knock on wood, and they've all been fantastic. And I think maybe at some
they did a
point,
few before us that have been amazing that we just will never know.
I mean, that's true too. We can only do what we got here in 2017. Anything
Yeah.
before that, we're kind of out the.
We started with Awake, where there was, all right, is it Awake?
Mhm.
Yeah, and there was like a lore one before that. And
After that, it was Amazon. Amazon picked up part of it, I think. Yeah,
we'll see. I think I'm right.
maybe you're right. I don't know. The Grad Bash one is probably my favorite.
But people talked about, I've heard people talk about ones for Creep that we didn't attend, that were like from before.
Okay.
That were really good. But from Awake on, I think we've done basically everything they've done.
And I think maybe a very I don't know, chauvinistic side of me thinks that maybe they recognize us or me for some. I know they recognize you. They recognize different
But here's
actors.
the thing: like if they recognize me, which sometimes I think they might, I always get pulled.
God damn it!
Yeah, that's the difference. Is I'm like, I get pulled all.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
That's how I feel about that.
I get pulled all the time, and I always say, I'm like, I feel like there's an energy you have to give off, because I am like looking to get pulled. I am very like, I'm not needy, but I am like available. Like
Right.
that's what it is that if there's a character, I'm like, and there's a bunch of other things going on, I'm like, I'm going to gravitate towards the character.
Golden retriever energy.
I need to be in eyesight of this person so that if they decide I'm going to pull
They can
someone.
grab you. Oh, you're so close. Come with me really quick.
Yes. But you know what? To be fair, that's only worked out for me in JFI ones where like you talked about some of the other immersive ones we went, you got like one-on-one experience and you got
Yeah.
pulled and I was like, I never got pulled. People do
Done.
not like me. So who knows? You know what I mean? But it is hard, I think, on all these immersive events that it's like, if you don't get pulled too much, you feel a little left out.
You do feel a little left out. And what's the worst part of it is that the story feels incomplete. That to me is,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like the only reason I know so much about this story is because I pieced together you and Dustin and the last
We've
time
done
we
it
went.
before, yeah. And even
Right.
then, you had a lot of, like you said, you got pulled a lot. So you probably had your own storyline already that worked out.
I did. I will say that this time I learned way more than I learned last time.
What?
Yeah,
And
but-
you didn't share it?
I mean, I learned more this time,
You did. You learned that he was gay.
and that how he killed himself, and that he told Conrad that he was going to kill himself.
That's crazy.
Um,
That's very sad.
right. So like those are like good details to have in this story, but
Yes.
that's all I know. Like that's
Yeah.
it. I don't know if there's really a Jonathan out there. There was something I totally forgot that Uncle Ricky's wife. It's so funny. The mother's like, bring her down here. She's sleeping, and she's supposed to be here for dinner. And they're like, no. And there was this awkward moment between all the actors, and Claudia's like, yeah, because she's been dead for 28 years. And
Oh
so,
my
yeah.
God.
And so it was funny, like that family, the familial dynamic of like hate and angst and all that shit.
Yeah, did that come up at all? Okay, because guys, for the first time me and Chris went, we got to meet his wife. Like she was there.
Oh,
Do you remember?
no.
Okay. It's the moment when he puts the stocking over his head.
Oh, which is
So-
completely different this time. Okay.
Yes.
okay.
So he has a moment where they do that, where they ask to bring her out, and so he has to leave the room to go get her. But then she comes in, in quotes, because it's him dressed in cross-dress, but has like a stocking over his face to like warp his face and stuff.
Yeah.
And the biggest secret about it was supposedly they were keeping it up for the son. Like he was like, I can't let my son kind of know or whatever.
And the son was Conrad.
Yes.
Oh, that's
So
great.
Conrad, you know what I mean? And there's a joke they made about like, the fact that they're never in the same room and something like that. And I thought it was that because she had left. I didn't know she died. So maybe they did change that a little bit.
Yeah.
But that was what happened for us last time was he shows up and he's in a dress and he had that thing on.
So I do remember that. I didn't know that was the wife though. I remember that the uncle putting the stocking on his
Yeah.
head. I loved that. I
Yeah.
thought that was
It was so
creepy.
weird and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of those moments where one of you, Dustin or you, got pulled and you guys found out that information more. Because when he got pulled by him and he was the dad or whatever, and he was talking about the fact that he has to keep this up for his kid.
I did get pulled by him in the study.
I think, yeah, I think you're the one who told me.
But I love that story. So the uncle in this, again, I didn't see most of it. I only saw the uncle at dinner, and then when he's waving the gun around. So I don't think that happened. I feel like that's a reveal that everybody should see. He does leave during dinner. He does. He's like, go get her, and then he just never comes back.
Oh,
So
interesting.
I did think that in this moment he's gonna come back with a stocking over his
Yeah.
head before dinner. It'd fucking make everybody uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It would have been a fucking great thing to do, but we didn't get
That
that.
didn't happen.
Yeah.
Last time when we went to around dinner table, the matriarch, she asked us all how we knew Conrad.
Yeah.
And we all had to speak to that, which was of course awkward because again, here's like what Chris read about this description for this event. You go in and you don't know what you're there for, and then immediately it unravels, right? Where they start to be like I remember turning to Chris and being like, "Oh, we're here for a funeral. Like this is like their person died, and they think that we know him." Like I was like, that is so uncomfortable alone. That premise. Think about it. If you were to show up to a funeral, and then like say the family just started pretending to know you, and like maybe you came with a friend, but they're like, oh my God, how did you know him? And you like you've already played up along a certain point that you're like, now I can't turn around and be like, oh, I just came with this person.
Right. You're in it.
You're in it. Like that's what they do. They literally put you in it. And so then all of a sudden you're around the table and they're asking everybody, how did you know Conrad? And you have to come up with a lie. Or not Conrad, I'm sorry, but Jonathan.
Yeah. That part, it's funny. I thought that took forever. And then like everybody hates, oh yeah, tell me about yourself. I'm like, fuck that. I'd rather
Fun fact.
Yeah, I'd rather go run into traffic. So nobody wants to do that. But even though we still kind of they're like, hey, say your name. We just went around the table, said our names.
Everyone had to say their name?
Yeah, which again kind of felt like it would have moved time, right? We'd have moved this along because when we did it, get up, say something that how you knew Jonathan, that's a time suck. That takes more time than if you just get up and say your name. But like we spent so much time at dinner. And then the dancing to me, I don't know.
We did dance at the end of the other one. Here's the thing. I wonder if do you think the dancing went longer because were people still joining you? Like, was it still like people who had been pulled aside?
Maybe.
Because I came in, I remember I was one of the last groups that came into the dancing when we went together, where it's like everybody was in this room dancing. I remember you specifically were dancing with the widow, I think at the time. And it's like, so then we had to walk into the room and then be like, pick a partner and dance sort of a thing or something like that. But it didn't last long for me because of the fact that it's like we were the last group that came in.
Maybe that's what it was. Because when we first, it had to be. Because when we first started dancing, it was right after the dude read the letter correctly.
Yeah.
And that was only maybe half of the people that were there. So the other half were probably upstairs. So there's like a whole half of people.
It is hard because then you're like, why did I end up in the group that's like, we're just vamping?
Fuck.
You know what I mean?
Like
there's that moment you're like,
this is bad luck, dude. It's like
you're like, there's something else going on that would have been more story than just, oh, we're stuck in a room dancing with each other.
So then if you boil it down, if you distill it down to your experience, right? Like how, like some people pay $250 for this, right? And that's a lot of money. And so if I had done that, I would have been intrigued, but I'd have been like, I don't know. Like it just seems, however, the people upstairs who got dinner, who got people were fucking screaming upstairs. Like something was going on up there. And I have no idea what it was.
And I remember, like I said, when I was up there, I know that at least the widow was like, she was frantically screaming and being crazy for a bit. Yeah.
Well, you saw the argument with the uncle, right?
Yeah. So that's part of it, is that she was hysterical and clearly like, at that very emaciated point kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or drunk. Anyways, yeah, that is hard. And I do remember even the last time I went, the first portion before we got to the point of like, oh, there's the maid reveal thing. That for me, I remember being a little bit like, when we compared stories, that was when you had gone outside, when you had done these other things. And I was like, dang, you got a cooler part than I did, because I ended up with the matriarch and we definitely started doing something that was a vamp at some point.
Oh.
Where it was, we all had to, she was like, I'm going to make a series of movements and then I'm going to ask each one of us in a row to make the same movement. And if you mess up the movement, you will need to start over.
It's
kind
like
of
an acting exercise.
Yes. But of course, it was her being very severe with us. Right. So it was like, so then she would like pat and then she'd like bring her hands up or something, like pat her legs, bring her hands up. And then she'd say, go ahead. And it's like, so if people did that, and let's say you just, even if you only half brought it up, like if you only just went like this or something, she would be like, she would stop, you know what I mean? And get really uncomfortable and be like, you know what I mean? So it was like uncomfortable.
Sure.
But I was like, there's nothing in this that has story. It's just uncomfortable.
That sucks. I would, if you, that's bad. I say bad, just bad luckies, I should say. Unlucky.
Yeah. There's always that where it's just like, damn, I wish I could have had more of the story-ish thing. So that does feel like a little luck of the draw kind of a thing, where some people are going to have a better experience than others.
I get, and I know they want to make it replayable, again, gamer term here, but like at $250, like that's a lot. And what happens if you get half of this? Like, you know what I mean? Like what happens if I would get Conrad and then something else? You know, I would still be like, dude, I did half this. Fuck, I don't want to do it again. So
I know. I always wondered that I was like, the worst thing I think would be to go back and then get pulled by the same people.
Oh my God.
I'd be like,
no. No.
I don't want to go with you. Actually, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. I need to.
Yeah, right. At that point, you'd have to. You'd be compelled to do that shit.
Yeah. I think
But as far as like the Willows goes, I mean, it's a great experience. JFI
it's still
puts
really
on,
hard to beat
It is
in the sense of that it's like this storyline and the immersion of it all
Yeah.
and the acting and the 2 hours.
Yeah, right. It breaks that feeling of, hey, I'm just going to an event. Like you are in the event, and I mean, people want to do that, right? You want to be part of something that's just different in a fantastical world. Like it's like you really are like being in a movie for 2 hours, and who wouldn't want to do that? Like
Yeah.
fucking world sucks right now. Like
No,
give yourself
yeah.
something to do, and JFI like gives you a great opportunity to be in part of something. So
I wonder if they always pick a male Jonathan. That's like a question I have. I may have to Google it and see. But they picked a male Jonathan for
true.
us too.
that's true.
So I'm like,
It feels very in the family to pick a male Jonathan. This
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
feel like
true.
a very forward thinking family. You know what I mean? It definitely doesn't. But yeah, again, big thanks to JFI for hooking me up with the big discount, and
Hey.
you know what I mean. Just
pays to follow.
yeah, it pays the follow for real. And so, if you haven't done Willows, I mean, don't do it during Halloween season. I would say. Okay, that's what's great about this show is that it's not based around Halloween, so you don't. I mean, if you're going to, like we do, Not Scary, you're going to HHN, you're going to Queen Mary, you're doing Delusion, that shit gets expensive real fast. And then to top it off with the most expensive thing you can do is this, like do it outside of spooky season. So that way, you know what I mean? Like, hey, you get your spooky fix, but that way you're not allocating, a third of your spooky season budget to one event.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Spread it out. And I think that's a great way and a great business model that Willows and JFI are kind of doing.
Yeah.
I mean, because anytime they put their shows up, they sell out.
Yeah.
Like the only reason I was able to go was because I had one ticket. If I had 2 tickets, they're like, no, we don't have space for 2 more people, just 1 person.
Yeah.
So
dang.
I know. So you were never going to be able to go.
Well, damn. Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, I just love everything they do. Big thanks for that. And I'm sure we'll be talking about JFI in the future. I know that once spooky season comes around and we're going to do some immersive events, and they always come up, whether we're comparing them to John Braver's Delusion offering or we're talking about what JFI's offerings have been in the past. And that's always fun too. They have done some House of Creep I didn't love at first, but now I think I love it.
Just house.
House.
Yeah.
I think that is so cool now, thinking about what I
House.
know about like that house lore, looking
Yeah.
back on it. I think that would have been so cool to do again. Obviously, Awake, you know what I mean? Like
Awake
that
was definitely like a standout for us.
Grad Bash, which we went to for free because we follow them.
Which was I know what you did last summer, our TV show advertisement
on
kind of thing.
Amazon. And we just went in there. You could order pizza if you want. You could order drinks, popcorn, whatever you wanted. You could. Jessica followed someone into the bathroom trying to pump them from information.
Look, she took me into the bathroom.
Yeah.
But I did try to pump that information out, and some of it she was very, I was sticking to one thing that I was like, this didn't matter for the story. They wanted you to focus on other things. And that's why I said they're good at pivoting.
Right. Drive you to what
They're good
matters.
at being
in this
like, yeah, I don't know, but here's the thing that we should like. This is what's weird. You know what I mean?
They called us super seniors when we were checking at the door.
Oh yeah, that was so effed up.
Fucking.
How long ago did you graduate?
Yeah. You guys are super seniors. Fuck that.
Get out of
What the
here.
fuck are you talking about?
So funny.
Anyway, we love JFI. We love Willows.
Yeah, I'm happy you win at least.
Me too. And we'll talk about this in future. But right now, for
Christopher
and Jessica, we're out. Jonathan.